Hey everyone, it's Gavin, and it's no secret that I absolutely love Final Fantasy XIV. I've been playing the game for 9 years now, and yes, that's 9 years because it did initially release in 2010. And yeah, I absolutely love Final Fantasy XIV, so I decided, hey, why not share 10 reasons why I still play Final Fantasy XIV. So, let's begin. First and foremost, the game is continually evolving. There are new updates that happen every 2.5 months or so, and that always adds in new battle content, or usually new recipes, new side quests, and a whole plethora of things for players to experience. So there's always new content to keep the game feeling fresh, and it never really gets dull. This point kind of ties into the last one about the game continually evolving. It's the fact that there's always something to do in the game. Whether that content be new to you or whether that content be old to you, there's literally a gigantic amount of content in this game to do. There's a ton of side quests, there's PvE content, there's PvP content, there's just a ton of crafting and gathering, and there's the mini games in the Gold Saucer, and just there's so much that this game is completely jam-packed with content for you to experience and content for you to share with your friends and experience with your friends. It's fantastic, and it'll definitely keep you busy for a very long time. The areas in this game are absolutely beautiful, and I mean like stunningly beautiful. There's so many different locales that are super diverse from one another, and they're just amazingly beautiful. It's crazy to think that these artists were able to come up with such gorgeous environments for this game, and each and every environment is worth visiting. Definitely one of the best points of this game, and the reason why I keep coming back to it is it's such a pleasure to look at. Soundtrack in this game is amazing. Soken did an incredible job with each and every single track in this game. It always fits the scenario, and there's some of the best tracks that are in Final Fantasy history. The songs that he composed in this game are just mind-blowing how fantastic they are. A lot of the boss themes and even just the field themes are crazy. Some of the songs I do know were carried over from the original version of the game, 1.0 as we call it, and those ones were composed by Nobuo Uematsu. And those are also really good songs, but at the same time, I remember when I heard he was being taken off of the project for Final Fantasy XIV, I was a little bit, nervous about how the soundtrack was going to sound, and needless to say, all of my doubts were completely just taken, slapped in the face, and were thrown out the window, because Soken just completely delivered on the music. The soundtrack is awesome, and everybody should give this a listen. Another really good reason why I still play this game is that there are a ton of players still playing the game, and there's always someone new to meet and someone to befriend. The game is just brimming with new players that are entering the game upon every single expansion's release, and you can always find somebody to hang out with or help you out with content. There's just so many people that are friendly, and the community itself, which I know has been beaten to death because everybody just keeps bragging about how fantastic our community is, but it's for a reason. The community actually is great in Final Fantasy XIV, and a lot of people will help you out. There's the odd person that, will be a little bit confrontational, but for the most part, everybody in this game is super helpful, very friendly, and there's just so many people to meet. How can this not be a point? There are a ton of different jobs to learn how to play. Maybe you're just used to playing tank, or maybe you're just used to playing a DPS job, or maybe you're just used to playing a healer, but in each of those roles, there are a number of different jobs, and they all play differently. So maybe you're not completely confident in your abilities to play another job, so you can always change it up to learn how to play optimally, or just to try another job to change up your day-to-day routine to keep the game feeling fresh. And that is one of the fantastic things about Final Fantasy XIV, is that all of these jobs are available on one character. You don't need to make multiple different characters to level them. You can play that one same character, and every job is available for you to play. The raid content in this game can be extremely challenging, but it's also very rewarding. I can't tell you how many times that I've gotten into a raid group hoping to beat something, spend countless hours of many overnight sessions trying to take down this content, failing, but getting back up the next day, sometimes, in the evening, and then trying again all over just to try to get the win. But when you finally get that win, it's just a unanimous like feeling. Everybody is just cheering, hey, awesome, we finally beat this content. And that in itself is something that you don't get with a whole lot of other games. And I know a lot of the raid content, some people don't really consider challenging, but for most people, it is very challenging. There's a pattern to each and every single fight you have to learn, so you almost have to study a lot of the routines and everything as well. It's really nice to see that. And then on the other side of it, there is a more casual side to the raiding scene as well. And if you go in with the casual mindset, it's nice for you to jump in and learn these fights from scratch without maybe not using any guides or anything and just relying on your peers. So again, it ties into that community point as well. Raiding content in this game is fantastic, and everybody should also give that a try. This next point's not something that I thought that I would ever say, but the PvP content in this game is awesome. I've been doing a lot of PvP since the last expansion dropped, just trying to like knock out the achievements and everything that are going away in patch 5.1. But I've been doing a lot of PvP, and I've been standing up and shouting at my TV or my monitor, whichever I'm playing on, and then driving my fiance completely nuts, just like, can you calm down a little bit? But it's so fun, and especially when you're doing really well and you're getting a lot of kills or helping your party survive, there's a lot of clutch moments where you're just like, oh man, I can't believe we pulled that off. But yeah, the PvP in this game is incredible, and if you're like myself and you're nervous about getting into the PvP, don't hesitate. It's really fun. It's a lot more accessible now as well with the way that the commands are set up into the game, and there's not a whole lot extra that you have to worry about when you are doing PvP in order to perform the way that you should or the way that you think your team is going to expect you to. There's a lot of different modes as well. You got Rival Wings, which is like this weird mix-up of tower defense and like mech combat. And then you also got like your front lines, which is Alliance versus Alliance versus Alliance. And you also have stuff like PvP, like just the regular PvP, the Feast, which is 4v4. And that's more of like a esports kind of, you know, competitive PvP. It's awesome to get into, and I recommend PvP for anybody in this game. This game is a great way to make lasting memories with others, whether it be your significant other, whether it be just your friends, or whether it just be the strangers that you've met throughout the game. I can't tell you how many times that, you know, we look back at 9 years ago playing the game and just reminisce or talk about, you know, how things were in 1.0, or about how we spent 14 hours trying to get a kill on Titan hard mode when that was first released. It's just, there's so many times that we've talked about stuff that's happened in the past in this game that it's so easy to make memories with your friends that it's definitely worthwhile. It's something that you'll carry with you for your entire life. If it wasn't for this game, I don't think myself or my fiance would have ever went to the fan fest in Vegas. And that in its own right is just, it's crazy to think that because of this game, we got to go somewheres that we only ever dreamed of going, and we've got to see a lot of other players that share our same passion for this game. We've got to meet members of the dev team and get to see, you know, Yoshi P and everyone in person. We've got to watch the Primals play their live performances and everything. It's crazy. And even outside of just the game and everything related to the game, getting to go to Vegas and then travel to California and just see everything that I don't think I ever would have really taken the time to go to my way to see in person, but it all stemmed from this game. And to meet those friends that I initially made 9 years ago in this game, and to meet them in person, it's crazy to think that a game can enable that. And that's one of the reasons I absolutely love and continue to play Final Fantasy XIV, to make new memories with all of these awesome people. And last, but certainly not least, it's just fun to play. Final Fantasy XIV is fun to play. I honestly, I can't say it any better than that. Every single time I log in to play the game, I have fun. I'm usually never bored. There's always something, like I said, in another point for you to do, and it's just fun. There's no other way to say it. If you want to play a game and you want something that's gonna, you know, be worthwhile, Final Fantasy XIV, it is extremely worthwhile. Every single point that I've listed in this entire video leads to this one main point. It's fun to play. And that's why we like to play video games, because they're fun, they're entertaining. This game is no different. definitely worth the time. If you're not playing Final Fantasy XIV, go out and pick it up. Final Fantasy XIV is definitely worth it. Thank you guys for watching my video, and if you guys like any of these points or have any stories or comments to tell me about, leave them in the comments below. I appreciate you guys watching so much. If you wouldn't mind, give it a like, and please subscribe if you want any more Final Fantasy XIV or any Final Fantasy or RPG content. And I appreciate you guys' viewership. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.